Welcome to the iconic Queen's Park Oval. This venue has played host to some of the most indelible moments in West Indian cricketing history.
Could that be it? It is! For Henrik, the Courtney Walsh!
It's been a buzzing hive of drama, delight, and disappointment. But even for someone who has played here hundreds of times, there's still a lot to learn about this venue. Dr. Nigel Camacho, President of the Queen's Park Cricket Club. Nigel, always a pleasure to chat with you. Let's focus a little bit on your role as the President of the Queen's Park Cricket Club. Tell us a little bit about what that entails.
It is huge. You know, it actually started at a very difficult time for the club. It was the time with COVID, you know, and when COVID came around, well, everybody knows the whole world shut down. You know, for us at the club, it was a huge obstacle, and it was life-threatening for the club. You know, but we were able to do austerity measures and cut back and survive.
I played cricket all over the world. I know there's a little bit of bias on my part, and certainly from on your part, but the atmosphere here at the Queen's Park Oval is second to none. I think we can say that without fear of contradiction. What makes it so special?
I had a great opportunity to talk to Simon Dool and Danny Morrison last year during the CPL series here, and they told me that perhaps the loudest stadium in the world is in Mumbai. You know, it's really loud and there's a lot of noise. He says by far the best atmosphere of any ground in the world is the Queen's Park Oval. And you feel it when you watch a game that's packed in this ground. You can feel the vibe, you know.
Has it gone? Has it gone? Has it gone? Has it gone? It's gone! West Indies have won by 1 wicket. The Queen's Park Oval is in raptures.
And that, you know, it's not by chance that we are the 8th most played venue in the world. And it's a big status for us as a small Caribbean country. You know, when you think of the big 4 in Australia that have, and the three of the big ones in England that have had more test matches and ODIs than us, but we have done pretty well over the past 130 years. So I think, you know, I think players love playing at the Queen's Park Oval, actually.
I look across to my right and I see the Trini Posse. I know you've been quite instrumental in the formation of that entity. Tell us a little bit about the Trini Posse and what that means to you.
It's very sentimental to me in terms of the Trini Posse. You know, it actually, I'll give a little story here because it's an interesting story that very few people know. Trini Posse started in 1992 with the great test match against South Africa when they were readmitted to play cricket. And we actually went to the ground, 38 of us went to Kensington Oval to see the test match. We got there, to our shock and surprise, the match was boycotted because, you know, Anderson Cummins didn't get picked or something along those lines. So, you know, we were the only people on the ground. On the second morning, driving to the ground to Kensington, excited about the game, picked up a newspaper in Barbados, and the back page of the paper had boycott a success except for the Trini Posse. And that's how we got the name. We cut out the clipping, and we were forever then called the Trini Posse, and it started in 1992 in Barbados.
What a place. If you've never had the experience of being in the Trini Posse section here at the Queen's Park Oval, you're missing out. You need to get in and get that experience. It's something that you will never ever forget, isn't it?
It is a goosebump raising kind of experience in terms of being able to watch cricket. You know, so this leads to my favorite thing now, which is our museum.
Right.
You know, so over the 100+ years of history at the club, you know, our initial curator, Mr. Stephen Almondos, collected a huge amount of assets in our museum. So the plan for me is to take it to technology. So what we're going to do is we're going to digitize the assets. We're going to create historical, factual narratives to support the assets. Then we're going to create a platform, hopefully, to be able to, if we can't just have a physical museum for people to visit, we'd like to take the museum to the world and actually tell the world a little bit about this little spot in Trinidad and Tobago that has produced these cricketers. So that's my plan for the next 5 years.
An absolute honor to be here at the very famous Queen's Park Cricket Club Cricket Museum, a repository of cricketing artifacts. I have alongside me Khalil Mohammed, curator of the museum. First of all, thanks for your time, Khalil. Pleasure to
Not a problem, my pleasure.
be here with you. If we can start with the genesis of this cricketing museum, tell us where it started, when it started, and how it started.
So the Queen's Park Cricket Heritage Museum was started by Mr. Stephen Almondos. I would have to say without him, we wouldn't be here today. All of this was curated by him over the course of, I can say, about 40 to 50 years. A lot of hard work and thought went into it. The museum in itself consists of, firstly, the history of the Queen's Park Cricket Club, which was first called the Sovereign Cricket Club, and encompasses a lot of Queen's Park cricketing history, Trinidad cricketing history, and West Indian cricketing history by extension.
Tell us, Khalil, the importance of curating some of these cricketing artifacts and the benefits of having such a museum.
Well, there's a old saying that you don't know your future if you don't know your story. And the relevance of this, it's firstly a pleasure to see the trials and tribulations and also the successes of those who would have mastered the craft before us. And also, apart from that, it's a form of inspiration to show that there's a reason why we do everything. Cricket's the reason why we are passionate about cricket as West Indians goes beyond being the better skilled person. It relates to our history as Caribbean people. And I would say the relevance of these artifacts, they definitely play a motivational factor for the youth going forward to have them inspired.
Yeah, glad you mentioned that. A lot of these things here can certainly inspire the younger generation. Tell us a little bit about who has access to this facility, or how can you come into the Queen's Park Oval and looking at the artifacts here.
So the museum is available for tours,
Yeah.
to both small groups and large groups. To book a tour of the museum, you can go to our website, and also you can call at our office to schedule. So it's not to say there's limited access or you need to have special privilege. All is welcome. And apart from that, there's an added value that is soon to be launched, which is that we are looking to implement a virtual museum where there would not be a need to take a plane.
Right.
From the comfort of your own home and using technology, of course. Persons can take a virtual tour. And there will be more to that, but don't want to let all the secrets out of the bag as yet.
Yeah, just holding back a few cards close to his heart.
So this is a copy of the original deed of the Queen's Park Cricket Club. As the name will be self-emphasizing itself, Queen's Park. The ground was given to us by the Queen of England. And as such, this was the deed from when the club was renamed from the Sovereign Cricket Club, as it originally was, to the Queen's Park Cricket Club, and we were given a 99-year lease of ownership for the ground itself.
First test match in history, fall of the final Australia wicket tied test of 1960-61. Tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here.
So 1000% sure that all of the older folk who's watching this program right now are in their glee. I would have heard stories from persons who back then would have had to listen to this scenario play out via radio.
Transistor radio.
Yes. And this was the famous tie test in 1960-1961 series in Brisbane, Australia, where the West Indies could have lost the series. They were up 2-1, and a miracle happened. As you see, this was signed by one of the famous, now famous cricketers who were part of that feat, as you see as our original signature here by Sir Wes Hall. And yes, this is an extravagant and a great moment in West Indies cricket history, or cricket history on the whole, that is referenced by all.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, there are lots of the older folks would know of that cricketing moment, iconic in its own right. First tied test, West Indies versus Australia. And I know you have a section dedicated to South Africa. I'm looking at the map at the top here, some pictures, some bats, balls, a stump. Tell us what we're seeing here in totality.
Queen's Park Cricket Club, we had the honor of hosting our 50th test match, which was played between the 17th to the 21st of March 2001. between South Africa and West Indies. In this collection we have here, this is a shrine to that feat in itself. Here we have a sample of the turf, ball used by the West Indies, ball used by South Africa, a commemorative medal that was issued within that game, and also the man of the match, who was also the man of the series as well, Darryl Coleman. He actually made a great gesture to QPCC by donating this bat to us as part of the shrine to commemorate that golden test, where he scored 103 runs against us and was given man of the match in that game.
And here we have pictures of the two teams that played. West Indies team on the right side, the South African team, successful South African team on the left. And what's this on top here?
This was donated to us, or I should say given to us by the South African team. It's a plaque where each of the South African players signed and gave it to us as part of the gesture for commemorating the golden test.
We can't speak about the Queen's Park Cricket Club, Khalil, and not mention the great man, the man who has been arguably described as the greatest cricketer ever to have played the game, Brian Lara. What have you got in relation to him?
So we have a whole corner in relation to him. Brian Lara, as you know, they call him the Prince of Port of Spain for a reason. So here, firstly, we have a bat that was given to us by Brian Charles Lara himself. And also we try to tell the history of Brian Charles Lara throughout the time. Here you have some awards that he would have won while playing for Queen's Park in his teenage/adolescent days. So you have him in his early days in the 1992-1993 West Indies team, amongst the likes of Phil Simmons, David Williams, or Trinidadian himself, Curtly Rose, Desmond Haynes, Richie Richardson, and Courtney Walsh.
If we look at this picture, Khalil, how many times have we seen this leap from Brian Lara celebrating a century? This is an indelible image. If you're a West Indian fan, this is something that you'll remember for the rest of your life.
This is a trademark image of Mr. Brian Charles Lara himself, not only as a Trinidadian, but as a cricket fan on the whole. When you see this leap, if you were to blow out the face, you would know this is still Brian Lara. I think this is almost a signature as one of his cut shots. It's a trademark image in itself.
Of course, world record holder Brian Lara, 400 run not out Test match cricket, 501 in first class cricket, former West Indian captain, and of course a famous alumni or alumnus of the Queen's Park Cricket Club. Khalil, I want to thank you for your time. So much more that we can see. We'll take days to go through all of the stuff here at this museum, but I just want to commend you for the great work that you're doing, and we want to encourage cricket fans, cricket enthusiasts, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, from around the world. If you have an opportunity to come and visit this museum, lots of information, lots of knowledge, lots of history, and certainly you won't want to miss out. Thanks again.
No problem, man. My pleasure.
So there you have it, folks. It's been an amazing day learning about this incredible facility. I look forward to what the future holds and to the many wonderful memories that it will certainly bring.